what they call Kani pockets. We don't fight on your feet, flying rockets. The Karl Kani is the big jig, the fuck, no trouble better than y'all.
This next spoiler design. He's getting big time anyway, and he's being just people like Will Smith and Terry. And if John Kerry lined up, he just gets started.
Before Jay-Z, before Diddy, there was only one name in urban fashion: Karl Kani.
True love.
Now the man who stars like Will Smith and Terry The Godfather has another hit lined up.
T-shirts. We have one of the best lines. I love our t-shirts.
Hey, what's not to love? And Karl says there's one Grammy winner in particular who just can't wait to sport these babies.
This is one of the shirts that Kelly Clarkson, she's wearing. She loves our product and she lives in these t-shirts on her tour.
Looks like Karl topped himself again.
Here it is for $64,000. Which of the following fashion designers sells clothes under his or her birth name? Karl Kani, Ralph Lauren, Donna Karan, Giorgio Armani. Get Kani in the light.
Seriously, always imitating Will Smith.
Karl Kani cannot miss the thing that he did. Get paid and get ready to bust out in some new areas of fashion and the new millennium.
But you take this thing overseas to the underground, to the cardboard, to the rock, you can't be stopped. You get caught in our
So the latest fashions from Karl Kani is at the forefront of what is turning out to be one of the biggest fashion trends ever. He's actually joined us in
Give a warm San Francisco Academy of Art University welcome to the godfather of urban fashion, Karl Kani.
What's up, everybody? Everybody's good tonight? So let me tell you what I did. I wrote some notes down just in case I forget some things. There's some points that I wanted to kind of share with you guys about my life story and how I got started, and with the hopes that maybe I can inspire some of you guys to go out there and make your thing happen the way that I did. My family comes from Costa Rica. We came to the United States back in 1969. My father always wanted his clothes made a certain type of way. He's Panamanian, so he had his pants kind of fitted on the top and it flared out at the bottom. Kind of a weird style. The unfortunate part about it is that no stores sold that type of clothes. So what happened was he used to get his clothes tailor-made at the tailor. We used to go down to Delancey Street in Manhattan, buy the fabric, and he used to bring it to his tailor in Flatbush, and his tailor used to make the clothes for him. What that showed me was that you necessarily didn't have to know how to make patterns or sew if you had an idea and a concept. So that's what kind of inspired me to start making my own clothes, because I saw that he was standing out, being different than everybody else, and I wanted to be different at the same time. So my path started from that point. But even before that, my work ethics was very strong, because we grew up in the projects in Brooklyn, New York, and my mother couldn't really afford to buy me all the expensive clothes that I wanted. I wanted all the different Nikes and Pumas and Adidas, and she couldn't do it, and straight up. So what did I do? I got a newspaper route at the age of 12 years old, and I was delivering newspapers in the community and collecting the money every Thursday and Friday to hand it in. So we were making about $75 to $100 a week, and what did I do with the money? I spent it all on clothes. I had a really bad habit of just wanting everything. And the thing about it, me and my friends used to play this game called Stepsies, where it's like, anybody that had on new sneakers, you just try to step on them. So I had a major issue with that. Anyway, so my point is that I didn't even know at the time, but I was training myself for success in life starting at the age of 12. Nothing in life is given to you, and you got to work hard for whatever. You know, sometimes you hear success stories about people, but you don't really know what they went through to get where they are, you know, because we went through a lot to achieve the success where we're at with my company. So after the newspaper route thing, we moved, and during high school, I joined a co-op program, which is where you go to school a week and you work a week. You know, it was really cool because, you know, everybody wants to get out of school for a week and you're getting credit for it. So I was working for the Board of Education, delivering checks to the security guards and the teachers. But once again, it was training me for success in life. So as I graduated from high school, I was kind of undecided as to, you know, what I wanted to do. At the same time, I was still getting some of my clothes tailor-made. And so what happened was I asked my father, could I make me an outfit with the tailor? So back in the days, we were wearing Lee's jean suits. It was a two-piece, a jean jacket and a pant. So I gave his tailor one of my jacket and a pant. I told him to make me a linen outfit out of that. When he made that outfit and I wore it around the way, everybody's like, oh man, where'd you get that from? That is cool. Where'd you get it from? I was getting so much attention from this outfit that I wasn't trying to give up my secrets and tell everybody, well, go get your fabric and bring it to this tailor. I was like, well, if you want an outfit, I could get you one made. So here I was making outfits for some of my friends and some of the guys in the community, and I was making probably like a $20 profit on each outfit. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just making stuff just to make it, you know. But the point was that I was actually becoming a designer, and I didn't even think that's what I wanted to do. Because, you know, back in the days, being a clothing designer wasn't a cool thing to be. You know, I ain't gonna front. You know, it wasn't hip. It wasn't like the thing to be. I'm a fashion designer. So I didn't even want to call myself a fashion designer. I was just trying to make some clothes. So what happened was we was all sitting in the park one day, and I was sitting with these girls, and this guy walked by. He had on my outfit that I made for him. I said, I made that outfit for him. He's like, no, you didn't. I said, yes, I did. He's like, well, where's your name at then? Then it hit me. I was like, I should start putting my name on these clothes. That's what I need to do. I didn't even think about that. So that's what made me feel like, maybe let me start putting my name on these clothes. The most important part of the thing that happened to me, they used to have this tailor in Manhattan called Dapper Dan. He was a famous guy making outfits for all the hip-hop artists back in 1988. And when you went up to his store, he used to have lines around the corner, people trying to get in there to get custom-made suits. He was making these Gucci and fake Gucci and polo suits and putting leather on velour suits, and everybody, all the rappers was wearing it. And when I saw the attention that he was getting, I knew that was my destiny. I said I wanted that. And I didn't want it yesterday or the day before. I wanted it right now. And I was going to get it by any means necessary. So that was my mission. I wanted to go out, and I wanted to be bigger than this guy, but I wanted to do clothes with my name on it. So a friend of mine had moved to California, and he said, hey, Carl, why don't you come out to California and set up a shop out here? I think we'll get paid because nobody out here is doing this. So I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it. I said, find us a store. So my friend, we're from New York. He finds a store in California on Crenshaw Boulevard in South Central. We're from New York, so in New York, when you're in the inner city, you know you're in the inner city. in California, it's kind of tricky because you see palm trees, the weather is good, you kind of get thrown off, but Navy went. So here we are, we're in the store, and we're thinking, wow, we're about to get paid. We're like laughing to the bank. We're going to open up California. It's all good. Let me tell you something. This is around the time when NWA first came out and all this West Coast rap was coming out. The last thing they wanted to hear about was some New York fashions. We didn't sell nothing. Zero. Matter of fact, we started living in the store because we couldn't afford to have an apartment anymore. So here we are living in the store. We used to sleep in a sauna. Luckily, the store had a sauna and a shower in the back. We used to sleep on top of the fabric in the sauna and take showers and open up the store, but no business at all. No one was buying anything. So I was like, man, this can't work like this. I gotta do something. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to New York and I'm gonna raise some money from family members, tell them how great things is going. I just need to expand my business. And hopefully, I wanted to place an ad in this magazine called Ride On Magazine. This magazine was bigger than Source and Vibe back in the days. This is back in 1990, and I was able to raise, I think it was like $3,000. So here it is. I'm about to come back to California. I got $3,000 to pay for this ad. We got this. I'm like, okay, forget the store. Now if we place an ad, we can have kids from all over asking for these clothes. Great idea, right? So right before I was gonna get on my flight to California, my friend AZ tells me, Carl, guess what happened? I was like, what? He says, we got robbed. Some guys came in the store, took all the samples we had, they backed the pickup truck, took our sewing machines out the store, and took everything. So I told my mother what happened. She's like, Carl, don't go back to California, don't go back, it's too dangerous, don't go back. I thought about it. I said, Ma, I gotta go back. I said, got back on the flight, went back to California. We took part of the money and we got an apartment in Hollywood. And the ad was already placed already, so we had the store's phone number in the ad. I'm like, how are we gonna do this now if we're moving? So we got all the calls forwarded over to our apartment in Hollywood. So we set up 1-800-221-KANI. Never forget that phone number. Man, the minute we placed that ad, kids from all over was calling, saying, where does this close? Where can we get it? We want this thing. So what we were doing was we were selling catalogs for $2 a catalog, right? And that was the money that we was able to eat off of. Because people were sending in $2 all over. Before they bought anything, they wanted to see a catalog first, but we were charging for the catalog. It was all set up. So here they are setting in $2 for the catalog. But here's what the catalog was. It's the funniest thing. The catalog was, we hung the clothes up on the windowsill and took a picture and wrote a style number on top of the picture and duplicated that picture. And we had a Xerox copy. So basically these catalogs were costing us probably like 20 cents. We were making $1.80 profit. Sounded good to me, right? So here we are. We got these catalogs going on. We're doing okay. But people they wasn't buying anything. They was just buying a bunch of catalogs. So I'm like, man, this thing is not happening. So, I had some decisions to make at this point. Do I really want to continue doing this? Because we weren't making money. Things were looking very bad. But my work ethics and my determination to making this business overcame all of that. And I stayed focused on this. I never went out. My friend, he was the one going out all the time. I used to stay in that apartment all the time, just keep designing and trying to come up with a new concept and trying to figure out how can I get my clothes out to the public. That was my main thing. How can I build my brand? How can I get my name out there? So every morning I used to get up 10 minutes to 7, no later than that. And I used to watch the Today Show on NBC. And I used to, just listen to the news. I wanted to feel like a businessman. You know what I mean? I felt like I didn't really care what was going on. I just felt like I need to listen or something. I don't know. I was just doing it. So I noticed there was always a crowd of people out by NBC holding up signs. And I kept seeing people holding up different signs. You guys ever watch the Today Show and see the crowd of people out there or whatever? So I was like, I said, what if I sent somebody up there and held up a sign with my name on it? I wonder how that would work. So sure enough, that's what I did. I called one of my friends in New York. I said, listen, I'll give you $25. I want you to go up to NBC and hold up this sign with Karl Kani on it. And guess what? He did it. And as soon as he do that, people started calling saying, hey, we seen your name on TV. What's going on? You're doing big things. Da, da, da. So after that, I started realizing the power of advertising. It's more than just having a clothing brand. It's about getting your brand out there into people's eyes so they can see it. So don't get caught up and make it feel it's all about the product. Advertising plays a very important role in the success of any brand, because anybody can make a jean and a t-shirt, but not everybody can really advertise it the proper way to make people want to go out there and buy it. After we placed the ad, everything was going smooth and things like that. My friend came to me one day and says, hey man, look, Cross Colors is having a fashion show. You should come out and meet them. I was like, I don't want to go. I'm not going. He's like, nah, I think you really should come. I think you should come out. Something made me go out that night. It was at the Palladium Club in Hollywood, and Cross Colors was a major company at the time. They was doing their thing, and I went out and I met the owner of Cross Colors, and I just went to him straight out and says, look, I'm trying to get my stuff from department stores. How can I do it? I just cut to the chase and asked him, because I was determined. And he's like, whoa. He says, you just met me. He says, you know, we want to talk. You can come down to my office tomorrow and we could talk for a minute. So I went out to his office, and I swear, within 10 minutes, he says to me, you know, I heard about your stuff. I seen your ad. If you want some help, we'd be willing to help you out. My heart just started beating really fast. That was the last thing on my mind, to understand why would a competitor want to help me out? 'Cause I'm going to be straight competition for him. So it took me about 3 weeks to get back to him on his offer. I was still contemplating, why would this guy want to help me out? Is he trying to steal my designs? Is he just trying to set me up? Like, what's going on? And I told my mother about it, and we said a prayer, and I decided to become partners with them. And this was back in 1991, and today I'm glad I did it, because at the time we were working out the apartment, selling $2 catalogs, but we had a very nice clothing line. And the second week after we got to them, we got our first big order from a store called Merry-Go-Round. We got a $3 million order from Merry-Go-Round. And from there, everything just kind of skyrocketed. This is when hip-hop was blowing up. My clothing line was blowing up. Everything was going good. We grew very quick. The first year together, we did a combined $89 million in sales, and this is back in 1992. So everything was going good. Then all the problems started. Everything just started going wrong. We did a production of jeans, and one leg came in shorter than the other. You ask me how that happened, I have no clue. And so I was panicking. I thought the owner of Cross Colors was about to kick me out and tell me to go about my business. And his philosophy to me is that a problem is only a problem if you make it a problem. Meaning that you can't get caught up in obstacles that come your way in the fashion business, because they're going to keep coming, and they come big time, and it could really cost you your company. So what we did was we ended up cutting those jeans into shorts, and they blew out the store because no one else had shorts. It was late in the summer, everyone was sold out of shorts, and here we are with a bunch of shorts, and the stores needed it. So it kind of worked to our advantage. Here's the problem. A lot of designers get caught up in product. And although it is about product, you got to get your brand out there for the consumers to see your stuff. You got to build relationships with retailers. You have to get that floor space in the department stores so people want to go out there and buy your product. Even if a brand is not doing well at retail, if you have that floor space, they have no choice but to continue to buy your product and try to work the thing out with you. So we've had a very successful business from that point on, and in 1994, we got with a company called Skechers. You guys familiar with that company? Yeah, it's a footwear company, it's a big footwear company. They wanted to license my name to do footwear for Karl Kani. So we gave them the license, and we had like 16 NBA players wearing my sneakers on the courts. Everything was going well, and Skechers came to me with a proposal. And it sounded really good on the surface. They wanted to take the Karl Kani name public. And they would like tell me how great this is, it could be really good for me and this and that. But there's only one problem. They didn't want to give me any ownership in the public company. They just basically wanted me to lend my name so they could make all the money. And that's when I started realizing this business is really warfare, and you got to prepare yourself for it. And I wish I'd have known this before I got started. And all these things I kind of learned as I went along. So the problem that I did was I never told them at the beginning that I wasn't with the idea, because I was trying to really think about it to see whether it's something I wanted to do. So when they found out that I wasn't with the idea, they got pretty pissed off at me. and they decided to file some lawsuits and things of that nature. So we had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations with that thing. The reason why I'm telling you this story is because expect problems to happen all the time. They're gonna happen. You gotta just learn how to adjust and look at everything more like it's a game, and don't take things personal, because people are always gonna come at you from different angles to try to get what you got, and you gotta stay focused on what your reality is and where you're trying to go. So we was able to get out of that situation. Everything was good. Then we decided to focus on the European market. So here's the funny part. So now that we're focused on the European market, our brand started slipping here in the United States. Our sales started going down. All the new urban brands started coming out. I mean, you had a Nietzsche, Fubu, Fat Farm, Sean John, Mecca, this one, that one. Everybody was coming out for the marketplace that I started. And it was a real trying time for me, because it's hard when you have everything and you felt like you lost it all. And kind of like that's what happened to us. So that was another pivotal point in my career, because I could have quit at that point and said, I don't want to do this anymore. But fashion is something, a burning desire in me. So fashion is something that you got to really feel it and want to really achieve success in this business. And the success is a very good success if you're able to establish your brand, because once you have a brand name, people will basically pay you tons of money to use your name to license other products. Like right now, we have about 20 different licenses. We have shoes, fragrance, we got outerwear license. We're the #1 urban street brand in Europe right now. And now that the euro is so strong, it really worked to our benefit. Now we're going to bring our European collection back to the United States in 2008 and really do a big splash, because now we're ready. So we're going to open up our own retail shops and our own in-store concepts and really blow this thing out the water. My point is that trials and tribulations are always going to be there. You just got to be ready for it. You got to be focused. You got to be determined. You got to want this more than anything else. You know, I've lost a lot of friends in this business because at the beginning, I had all my friends work for me. I had guys that had no concept of this business, and I just gave them a job. I thought, you know, people say you can't mix friends and business. I was like, oh, yes, you can. It's all good. You can do it. And one by one, they started dropping off. You know why? Because a lot of times when you're on a mission to succeed and people around you don't understand that, they look at you like you're crazy because you're on a mission for something that you want. And I had to make a decision, are these friends, so-called friends, more important, or my mission to succeed is more important? And my mission to succeed overrided any of that. So I had to go out there and make things happen. And once you're making things happen, that means you're creating your own energy. And once you create your own energy, things will start to happen for yourself. Like that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing really bugged me out, because I never think they would put my name with Ralph Lauren, Giorgio Armani, and these other designers like that who I really respect. But the point was that if I wasn't doing things on my own already, a lot of these things would have never happened. And the fact that I'm the originator of urban street fashion is kind of a weird title to have, because a lot of times when people think of that, they think that you can't do other types of clothing, you can't do the contemporary market. And that's why we started my new brand called Live Life, which is a contemporary brand. And we started dressing all the Hollywood A celebrities, and we started selling in different types of stores as well. And in fashion, you always got to keep changing and reinventing yourself all the time. People always got to look at you like you're innovative and you're doing new things and you're on top of the game and you're making things happen. And that's what Karl Kani is all about. So the answer to the question of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was, which American designer designs clothes under his or her birth name? The answer was Giorgio Armani, because Kani is not my birth name. Kani is a question that I used to ask myself all the time. Can I really be successful in this business? Can I make this happen? And when I was coming out with my line of clothing, my family's last name is Williams. Carl Williams jeans just did not have a good ring to me. Just didn't sound sexy. It didn't sound like Calvin Klein, Donna Karan, Giorgio Armani, Carl Williams. Ugh, I wouldn't wear that. Kani, I was at home doodling on a piece of paper, because I do that a lot. I always like to write. I'm surprised I don't have a pen right now. I like to write something over and over. That's how I kind of relax. And I kept writing, can I, Karl, can I? I was like, Karl, can I? So I went to a couple of my friends that says, I heard about this new designer called Karl Kani, which I think about that name. I was like, yo, that sounds kind of cool, man. I like that. I was like, so a couple, more than enough people told me they liked the name. So I was like, okay, that's my name. So when I became a citizen in 1989, in 95, I changed my name legally to Karl Kani. And what's kind of cool about it is like, it's almost like an inspiration for me to every day you got to get up and you're on a mission to answer that question. Yes, I can, that I can make this happen, and I can be determined, and I can be focused, and I can have a brand that's going to be long lasting. There's no reason why Ralph Lauren, Donna Karan, Calvin Klein should be the only designers that last over 15 years. So they're obviously doing something right, and I've learned a lot from watching those designers. And we feel like with Karl Kani, we're just really beginning our next plateau into this business. Because a lot of things that I learned was kind of just on-the-job training. You know, I wasn't fortunate enough to attend design school, but I surrounded myself with people that did go to design school and people that did go to college, because there's some things that I didn't know, and they was able to share that insight with me. But I was more of a visionary. You know, I'm good with people, putting people together, and I'm very focused. I remember one year we had, there's a big trade show called Magic Convention Show down in Vegas, and every year it's a big, we do it twice a year, it's a huge show, all buyers from all over the world come there. We used to set up a big booth, it was like, I don't know, 1,000 square feet booth, you know, it's big, huge, everything was good. So every year, something always happens at Magic where something is crazy, it's the weirdest thing, either you forget your samples, something didn't come out on time. This one year, everything was going too smooth. We had our samples on time, my salespeople was in California, everybody's feeling too happy, there was no stress. I was worried, because I felt like something is just not right. This is just going too easy. So we're sitting around, and the show starts on Monday, so normally the truck would leave LA on that Thursday to bring our booth to Vegas, because the booth is stored in LA. So my contractor gets down to the show, and on Friday afternoon, he calls me. He's like, Karl, we set up the booth, but half the booth is missing. Where's the rest of your booth? I said, what do you mean? I said, you're joking, right? He's like, no. I said, don't tell me you didn't pick up the rest of the booth from the storage facility. He said, I didn't know there was 2 parts to the booth. I was like, oh my God. So this is Friday afternoon. The warehouse is closed, and we only have half the booth. And the show starts Monday. And there's no way you could be at the show without looking prepared. If you understand, half a booth means that you have no walls, you just have your stuff in there. My friends was like, Karl, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I was like, screw this. We went up to the warehouse. It was closed, mind you. We got the number for the security company on the building. We called the security company. We told them, listen, this is a major emergency. We gotta get in this building to get our stuff. Can you get in touch with the owner? Blah, blah, blah. This is Friday afternoon in LA. One thing led to another. They got in touch with the owner. We had to go find a truck to go around to Vegas, this Brewer's booth. And finally, everything kind of worked out good. But my point to that story is that never take no for an answer if something that you want. You know what I mean? If this is something that you want and you're on a mission, then you got to go out there and get it. And my thing is, we never take no for an answer. We never feel defeated. I always try to find something positive out of anything that negative that happened. And if I'm around people and they're talking negative stuff and I'm not feeling the energy, then we got to cut that short. Because to me, life is about energy and who you're around, and you got to be around people that's propelling your career. So my road to success, I would say for most people, you could probably consider it a lonely road maybe, because you spend so much time digging down deep within yourself to figure out your mission. So you find that you don't really have time to go to the clubs. You don't have time to find out what rapper did what last week or who's doing this and gossip and this type of stuff, because all that is not putting money in your pocket. All that's not helping you with your career. The only thing that's helping you with your career is your brand. So hopefully, you guys can see where we're coming from. And success is not easy, and success is not given to anybody. You have to go out there and earn it. And every day we're still earning it. And we're still growing, and we're still having problems, and we're still working them out. And what I like is that I know I'm not the only one, because I listen to the Giorgio Armani people speak, the Marcianos, and I know the owners of True Religion. I know the guy that owns 7 Jeans, and they all got problems. They all got issues. Everyone got problems. You know what I mean? So you're not the only one. Don't even feel bad. You can't feel bad for yourself. Everybody's dealing with an issue and a problem and all that type of stuff. But one thing that I want to share is that when you're designing product and you come up with something, you don't need 50 million pieces to be successful. If you look at certain successful companies today, look at True Religion, 7, Citizen, Paper Denim, all those companies. All those companies are doing over $100 million off of one product. It's one thing. It's one jean. You know, what does True Religion do? They do jeans, but they do it well, and they market it well. And the key to that is that they don't even spend no money on advertising. All they do is dress celebrities in their jeans. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't spend the $50,000, $60,000 for Vogue or Elle magazine. Celebrity endorsements are very important, but I think you gotta have the right product first. So just do your thing and just stay focused, and I think that things will work out. I'm just gonna cheat on my notes to see if I got something on. Let's see. Hold on. Don't know until lost friends, slowly roll to the top, shared experiences. I think I touched on a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, but hold on one second. Oh, here's another thing. Anytime I show my line to people, I love to show my collection to people before it comes out, because I want to hear what they have to say. I like it more when people have bad things to say about it, because at least they're being truthful. Do you know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is for everybody to say, oh, I love it. Come on, you can't love everything. Be serious. Come on. You know what I mean? But the thing is, never get offended when people say something bad about your stuff, because who cares what they say? Just listen and you'll learn, because you don't know everything when you're designing clothes, because clothing is what you feel. Do you know what I mean? Clothing is something that comes from you. Like, everything I design is something that I like. But I'm willing to make changes and adjustments if I hear enough people say the same thing. There was one time when I never followed any of the color forecast services. I used to just do my own colors and just say, screw this, screw that. The only problem with that is that sometimes the real fashionista people, they try to like match up colors for the season. So there was one season when like earth tones was happening, and I just started to do all brights. And we didn't really have such a good season because people couldn't coordinate different pieces of other collections with my stuff. So I learned to kind of follow the color forecast just a little bit, you know, to kind of stay in tune with what we're doing. And that's what's up. So that's my story.